Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my personal most and least favorite watch releases of this year. Now, to keep it simple, obviously we're not going to talk about every single watch released from every single company. We're just going to talk about Rolex, AP, Patek, and Vacheron. So let's kick it off with my three top favorites from these guys. Number one, and in no particular order, I would have to say the day dates with the slate ombre dial was a knockout for me. I think it looks visually super appealing and it looks amazing with the rose gold, obviously. They really put this color combination together really well. I was gonna pick the Sky Dweller, especially the rose gold Sky Dweller with the blue dial. I think that also looks fantastic, but because I already have a day date, got a little bit of a soft spot for them. And I personally think that the Sky Dweller is a little too big, even though it's a fantastic watch. I'm gonna have to stick with the day date. I've just got a soft spot for them, and I think they're a really good watch. So that's my first pick. Second one would have to be the Nautilus 5980 with the leather strap that looks like imitation kind of denim. I've seen those watches up front, obviously, and they look so cool. I think they are the perfect sort of upper end casual kind of watch, right? I think the design of the strap goes together amazingly well with the design of the watch face itself. I really, really like that release. I think they did a really good job with that one. And finally, it was a toss-up between the Vacheron Overseas with the green dial and the Audemars Piguet John Mayer perpetual calendar, and I gotta go with the perpetual calendar here. I mean, firstly, the dial finish is amazing. If you've ever seen it up front, in front of you, you'll know what I'm talking about, and great color choice. I think the entire thing came together really well, not to mention, obviously, the workmanship that goes into the perpetual calendar itself. So, really good watch, fantastic. One of my favorite releases this year from AP. Not because, it's a knockout, absolute knockout in terms of like how it looks. I would say there's probably a couple of other ones that they put out that look maybe a little bit more appealing or eye-catching or head-turning. I'm talking about as an entire package in terms of the workmanship of the watch and the capabilities, the complications of the watch, coupled with how it actually looks on the wrist. And I think it's a fantastic sort of combination in that regard. So those are my three top picks from the big boys over there. Now, let's talk about my three least favorite releases this year. The first one that sticks out is kind of like a train wreck. You just can't look away, but you also don't want it to happen. And that would have to be the Rolex Deep Sea in full solid gold. I don't know what they were thinking, but obviously there are people with egos just as big as that watch who must have it on their wrist. I understand. Personally, I would never buy that watch, but it is sight to behold when you see it in front of you. It is what it is, I guess. To each their own. It's one of my least favorites. The second one would have to be the Audemars Piguet Remaster 02. I think vintage watches and classic watches, for the most part, should be left alone. I think just in general, most classic things, most vintage things should be left alone. Especially if it was a hit, especially if it just did the job and it hit the nail on the head, right? I don't think companies should go out and try to redo things like that in the hopes that they're going to be able to recreate it. I think that was a miss for me. And finally, from our friends at Patek Philippe, the Cubitus. Horrible watch. I can understand from a commercial perspective why they did it. I get it. But in terms of like, do I like the watch? No, I would not buy that watch personally. I would wait and I would buy a proper Patek. But you guys let me know. You guys let me know if you agree or disagree with my choices. Are there any other ones that you didn't like this year, even more than what I just mentioned? Are there any other ones that you liked even more than what I just mentioned? Now, obviously, there's a whole other wide range of watches, but we're just talking about, nothing like off catalog, nothing that's like really, really, really hard to get or anything like that. Just general watches out there. Those are three of my most and least favorites from the top companies. Until next time.